Hockey season's back, and for fans the world over, it means that the new NHL video game is here as well. NHL 13 introduced a new skating and physics engine, but the lack of realism when it came to controlling the puck and hitting made the game unplayable to many a gamer. With NHL 14, EA Canada took the feedback from NHL gamers everywhere and fixed the game, for the most part, in areas needed to give it more longevity. While the NHL franchise as a whole has been a good to great product over the years, the last few editions have suffered from a sense of staleness. NHL fans wanted something different, and that's what they got with NHL 14. On the ice, the game has never played better. From the improvements made to the skating engine, to the way the players control the puck, or don't if you don't have the puck control skills, NHL 14 just plays like a hockey video game should. The passes look authentic, the shots look realistic, and the hits, well, I can go on for hours about the improvement to the hitting in the game. The new collision engine is where the game sees its biggest improvements overall. Gone are the days of Mini-Me taking out the giant Hulk with a clean body check. Now a player actually has to be the right size and strong enough in order to perform a successful body check on bigger players. And with the updated collision and physics engine comes the brand new fighting engine built from the same engine that powered the Fight Night boxing series. The new third-person fighting engine brings to life fights and makes an aspect that fans love fun to play again. Fights don't just start because you press the Y or triangle button, even though you still can start them that way. They now start spontaneously. You cheap shot a team superstar? Expect to drop the gloves. Shoot the puck at the goalie after the whistle? Be ready to throw down. It makes fighting in the game fun again, and it's one of the best new aspects. Of course, the best addition to the NHL 14 is the all-new NHL 94 Anniversary mode. From the blue ice to the star around the player's feet, NHL 94 mode creates a major sense of nostalgia for everyone who ever played what many view as one of the best hockey games of all time. The best part is, you don't even have to have ever played a current gen NHL game to be able to enjoy the awesomeness that is NHL 94 mode. The simple controls of 2 buttons and the removal of the game's rules make it easy for anyone to pick up a controller and have a blast playing a hockey game how it was played back in the early 90s. Another game mode that isn't exactly new but received a massive overhaul is the Be a Pro mode, now known as Live the Life. Live the Life allows a player to create his own player and take him through the ranks from the CHL to the NHL in hopes of becoming a star or Hall of Famer. I know, it sounds the same as it's been for years past, but this is where the mode differs. Players can now perform off-ice tasks, things like pre- and post-game interviews, signing endorsement deals, and public events all affect how your player is received by the team, the league, and your community. You want to be a jerk to people and act privileged? Well, then your respect level amongst your teammates will fall. You want to work hard and produce the points on the ice? You may just become the most popular guy in the locker room and in the league. It makes a mode that's become dry over the past few seasons fun to play again. But despite the amount of fun the game is to play once you get on the ice, the overall presentation is where I was left with a sour taste in my mouth. Aside from the main game menu, the menu systems in the game remain the same as they've been. In Be a GM mode, everything remains in the same categories and no new options were implemented. In fact, Be a GM mode has gone relatively untouched, and it would have been nice to see updates to scouting or trade negotiations, but none of that came to be. You gotta wonder if EA didn't have enough time or if it's laziness knowing that the next generation of consoles is right around the corner. In Live the Life mode, the menu system did change due to the new options, but that's about it. One of the modes where the menu system caused a lot of problems last year was the first year of GM Connected, which is NHL's version of an online franchise. In NHL 13, it was slow, unresponsive, and nearly impossible to navigate. In NHL 14, the menu isn't as slow and unresponsive, but it's still pretty bad. The menu is still impossible to navigate, and you really have to dig in order to find out what the standings are and the points, and it's just too tedious to even want to bother with it anymore. As far as the commentary goes, Gary Thorne and Bill Clement are back to give the same dry, dull, and boring commentary they've had since becoming the announced duo when NHL made the jump to the current gen of Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It'd be nice if they had more inflection and the play-by-play just sounded natural. Or we can go back to something like this.
Oh, nice try!
NHL 14, though, is still the best hockey game to be released in quite some time. The way the gameplay flows on the ice is how a hockey video game should play, and there's just never a dull moment on the ice when playing. Unfortunately, the presentation issues and lack of changes to Be a GM mode stops this game from being the best it could possibly be. Still, with it only releasing on the current generation of consoles this year, NHL 14 is a game that is definitely worth the pickup, if only for the fun you have when you're on the ice. For more NHL 14, stay locked in at GameSided.com.